E3 2019 is right around the corner. I mean, it literally starts tomorrow, so we're pretty much as around the corner as we can get. I usually create an E3 hype video, and I usually would do it a lot sooner than this, but to be honest, I just haven't been as hyped for this year's E3. Maybe it's because I'm turning into too much of a Sony fanboy, given how much PS4 I've played in the past couple years, but they really killed it. And they're okay to miss this year. If they don't want to show up at E3 2019, that's fine. You know what? They had a good couple years, released some great games. They don't need to be in the spotlight this year. Do your thing, Sony. I appreciate you. I'll wait the PS5. Without Sony this year, it means Microsoft and Nintendo can step up. Microsoft has even said they want to have their biggest press conference. They want to have their biggest presence at E3 that they've ever had. And if they're going to do it, now's the chance. No Sony, Microsoft, take their spot. You can't do it, though. I don't think you have the power, but we'll see. So let's get into the press conferences. Let's talk about some of the games, when they are. We'll go one by one, day by day, and we'll get through this. The first conference is tomorrow, Saturday, June 8th, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We have EA. So it's confirmed at this point. We all know that the highlight of this conference is going to be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So we've only had teases for Fallen Order so far, and I imagine that they'll spend about 20 minutes during this conference, maybe a little bit less, 15, 10 even, showing gameplay from the game, a couple gameplay demos. They'll go over what the story is a bit more. But as for details for the game itself, we know that this is a single-player experience, heavy narrative experience, more similar to a game like Force Unleashed. Star Wars, the last game we had was Battlefront 2, released by EA as well, and that game did pretty poorly and was the start of a massive backlash against EA, the way they were handling things like microtransactions, and it created EA into a bigger meme than they already were, and to this day they're still kind of recovering from that. And there's other publishers and developers in the same predicament, sort of, and we'll get to those when we get to them. But yeah, EA has kind of been in the hot seat for a little bit. Jedi Order is developed by Respawn. They make the Titanfall games. Titanfall 2 was really, really good. Kind of an underrated gem in a lot of ways. I mean, I do think a lot of people talk about that game, but the campaign mode in Titanfall 2 was really great. If you haven't played it, I'm sure you can find Titanfall 2 for free somewhere, whether through EA Access or whatever. So go check out Titanfall 2, play that story mode, and then you're going to get like a feel for what potential there is for Fallen Order. There could be something really good there. I have high hopes for this game, and I hope that they spend a bulk of the presentation talking about that, because other than that, they don't really have much to talk about. They can get into Anthem a bit. Maybe they're going to add DLC to that. I mean, I don't know if anyone cares anymore. We know that Anthem is not shy of controversy as well. EA does have the sports market covered, so there'll be a section in relation to Madden, to NHL, to FIFA. Next day, Sunday, we have 3 conferences. The first one, Microsoft at 4 p.m. Eastern. Like I said earlier, Microsoft wants their show this year to be impactful. They want to have a great E3, they want their press conference to go over well, and they want people to be excited. And after a couple years of not very good exclusives, in fact, not many at all, what can they do to drive up the excitement and get people hyped? Well, they can spend a bunch of time during this conference showcasing their next-gen console. It's expected that they're at least going to showcase a little bit of it. Over the past couple of years, my interest in Microsoft in general has dwindled. I've spent more time with my Switch, with my PS4 and PC, pretty much only utilizing my Xbox as a Netflix machine and a Game Pass machine. The Xbox Game Pass is something I will always harp about as being a fantastic deal. I'm a shill for it, call it what you will, but it really is a deal that can't be beat. I'd be fine with some more Game Pass news, maybe a highlight reel of games to come. But seriously, if they came out and just for 1 hour talked about the new console, I'm in, I'm fine. I want to know what it is, show me the specs. If Microsoft wants to hype me up again, go out there and do it. I'll believe it when I see it. And the 2 games that come to mind with this Microsoft conference are Gears 5 and Halo Infinite. My interest in those 2 franchises has also, just like the Xbox itself, dwindled considerably, but who knows, maybe it'll be a turnaround. After Microsoft at 8:30 p.m. Eastern is Bethesda. Now, this is the conference I look forward to every year. Bethesda has, just like EA, been in a hot seat of sorts. Fallout 76, their highlight game from last year, had a terrible launch. It continues to be a problem for them. So Bethesda can go one of 2 ways here. They can spend a bit of the conference talking about how they're going to rejuvenate the game, how they're going to try to fix the problems that it has, or they could just let it die, which I honestly think is the best option. Bury it deep down in the soil of the earth so no one can ever find it again. No one remembers it, but people will remember it and they're going to give you shit for it, but bury it. Just forget about it, move on. We have a bright future, right? Well, let's find out. What are they going to talk about? So their highlight game this year is Doom Eternal, which I'm excited for. The Doom reboot of 2016 was a fantastic first-person shooter. It's well worth every cent that you may pay for it, even nowadays. So like last year, where Fallout 76 took up 20 or 30 minutes of the conference, we can expect Doom Eternal to take up at least 20, maybe 25 minutes. Beyond that, there's 2 games that I hope to learn more about, and that is Elder Scrolls 6, which we got a small, minuscule tease for last year, and Starfield, which has been this project Bethesda's been working on that's shrouded in secrecy. We know it's some sort of space RPG. We don't know much about it, so perhaps this year we'll get a deeper look at Elder Scrolls 6 and then a bigger tease for Starfield. They also have Elder Scrolls Blades, which is their iOS game, and the card game Elder Scrolls Legends, which is a lot of fun, and I think a good competitor to Hearthstone and Magic. It'd be cool if they announced some future plans for Elder Scrolls Legends. I know that it's going to be on Switch soon, which I can't wait for. I really hope Bethesda has a strong conference this year, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most. The last conference of Saturday is Devolver Digital, which is at 10 p.m. Eastern. To be honest, I don't know much about Devolver. They make a lot of indie games, and this is their first time with having a major conference at E3. Don't have much expectation for this conference. I'm going to tune in just to see what they're working on. They do have a back catalog of some pretty good indie games, so this should be an interesting conference. On Monday, we have another block of 3 conferences, starting with the PC Gaming Show at 1 o'clock Eastern. The PC Gaming Conference is one I don't normally tune into, but I'm going to change that this year. Check it out. Last year, they showed some cool stuff like Maneater, which maybe we'll see some more of that again this year. Actually, that game might have come out. I kind of forgot about it until just this moment. It's a game where you're playing as a shark, jumping on the land, eating people. It was one of the wackiest games I saw at the conference last year, and so maybe that'll show up again this year. Don't have many expectations for the PC Gaming Show, just like Devolver Digital, but I'll tune in to see what is going on. Ubisoft is Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Ubisoft should have a pretty good conference this year. They're expected to announce 3 new AAA games. The next game in the Watch Dogs franchise, called Legion, is going to be shown. This game has a pretty cool concept where it's going to allow you to take over control of any NPC in the open world. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work out, but we'll probably find out during this conference. It's possible we'll see a new Splinter Cell game, which would be pretty cool. Haven't had one of those in a while. There's usually something related to Assassin's Creed being put together for E3, so you can expect that. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a game I'm really keen to learn more about. Some of the gameplay demos they've had in the past for it have shown these really incredible open-world space cities, and that's something I'm really interested in.
The camera very easily, and you can really notice and understand the feeling of scale. When you look at that little monkey on top of the big statue, this is just a part of the head of the statue, and you're already very small. And it's very interesting to understand the scale of things. Here you see that the statue is really, really big. The statue is about 700 meters high.
And then, of course, there's the new Ghost Recon game that's coming out. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff shown during Ubisoft. I'm actually looking forward to this one quite a bit. And at the end of the day, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Square Enix. The main game being teased for this conference is the Avengers project that they've been working on. There have been some rumors and leaks about what this game actually is, but it does seem to be a cooperative action-adventure game. It could be in the same vein as something like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which we're getting Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 in a few weeks. It could be some sort of open-world RPG where you create a superhero. There's not much info out about it now. In-game was just a few months ago. They're riding that high still. Square Enix is going to dedicate a big portion of this, I think, to the Avengers project that they're working on. Also, possibility of a new Final Fantasy. We know that they'll probably show off Dying Light 2. There's a rumored AAA shooter from the Bulletstorm developers, People Can Fly, which may be called Outriders. But I'd be satisfied with just the Avengers stuff. I'm looking forward to that. And finally, we have our last conference of E3 2019. The Nintendo Direct will be on Tuesday from 11 to 12 p.m. Eastern. It's common knowledge that Nintendo has absolutely killed it since the Switch came out. They've been incredibly successful with all their first-party games, and they're seeing success with a lot of third-party games, a lot of third-party adoption as well. So this conference, I think, could be the biggest of the entire show. If Microsoft and Bethesda can't step up and wow everyone and take that prize home, it's going to be Nintendo. Games like Luigi's Mansion 3, the upcoming Pokemon, the possibility of a new Animal Crossing. Super Mario Maker 2 is coming out soon. They'll probably talk a bit about that. I'm really hoping we get a look at the next fighter or maybe the next couple fighters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But I think the big announcement would be on the Xbox Game Pass coming to Nintendo Switch. And maybe this is the year that Nintendo finally brings a localized Mother 3. So that's a quick breakdown of the E3 2019 press conferences. I'm probably looking forward to Bethesda and Nintendo the most, but I'm interested to know what you think. What are you looking forward to the most? What rumors have you heard? Please let me know in the comments. And thanks for stopping by and listening to me rant and ramble about this upcoming week. I'm super stoked. Gonna have a couple more videos out this week, so I'll see you then.